If you don't prepare for economic downturns at all times, you could lose everything in the event of a financial crisis. People frequently lose jobs that can give them the appearance of stability. They can lose all of their retirement funds and perhaps lose their house to the bank. All these could hurt your health over time and strain your relationships. It's simple to forget the bad times when the economy is doing well and has been for a while, but there's never a time when it is appropriate to reduce the effects of slowdowns. Fortunately, when the economy is struggling, this presents a massive opportunity for financially stable people. Thanks to this, they may be able to amass a great fortune far exceeding their wildest dreams. Learn how to properly prepare for bad situations so that you can seize chances when they arise. A recession, broadly speaking, is a massive fall in economic activity that continues for longer than a few months. This could be brought on by several things such as inflation, which occurs when prices increase and the dollar weakens. Deflation occurs when prices drop, the dollar is spent more, and financing issues result from high interest rates. These problems frequently lead to increased unemployment, a decline in consumer confidence, home foreclosures, and failed businesses. These reasons generally cause the stock market to crash as investors lose hope, panic, and withdraw their money. To improve your financial situation at any stage of the economic cycle, you must develop the practice of living within your means and controlling your spending. You invest in your future and pay off debt using the difference between your income and spending. Unfortunately, many people get caught in the loop of steadily raising their spending proportionate to their income, which leads to a never-ending state of barely getting by. They quickly use the extra cash to buy a new automobile or a bigger house when they obtain a raise. The trip has already been paid for when their tax refund arrives in their account. The phrase living below your means could conjure up images of boring or monotonous things, but when you start doing this, your life will undergo a great deal of improvement. The typical billionaire has 7 different sources of income, and I bet you can't even think of more than 3. They're constantly concerned about losing their jobs. Therefore, they don't rely on one salary from their employment to cover their mortgage, vehicle loan, and all other bills. You won't be as concerned if one source of income disappears if your income is varied. You'll still be able to pay your bills in the event of an emergency if you combine budgeting with income diversification. The possibility of one particular revenue stream succeeding is perhaps the best benefit of having several consistent income sources. For instance, a person with a 9-to-5 job starts an evening and weekend side business detailing autos. Customers are waiting in line to hire a car detailing company, which is a success. It pays substantially more per hour than a traditional 9-to-5 job. With an annual income double or triple what they earned at their primary employment, they can leave their full-time position and concentrate on their detail building business. In some circumstances, it makes more sense to pay off debt than in others. Simply said, it makes sense to make minimal payments on low-interest debt while paying off high-interest debt as soon as possible. Instead of spending every additional dollar, pay off the low-interest loans as quickly as possible. If invested, the money could generate higher interest than you currently pay. If you have additional funds available, consider supporting them for a 10 return instead of using them to pay off debt at a 3 interest rate. This makes sense, but some individuals fail to realize that your monthly expenses will be minimal when you have little to no financial obligations. Comparing your monthly expenses to those of someone who is heavily indebted, consider how much lower they will be if you don't have a mortgage, car payments, student loans, or even credit cards. You'll be in a far better position. As a result, to deal with any hazards brought on by an economic downturn and a possible recession, don't worry about how much better you'll sleep at night. How many times have you made purchases that you regretted afterward? That brand new vehicle you purchased has numerous technical problems, it is dented, and is almost worth nothing. What about the opulent wedding you attended with 300 guests to wed your now ex-husband or wife, or the timeshare sold to you while you were on vacation? Spending money on these pricey items is acceptable if they're significant to you and make you happy. However, the issue arises when consumers routinely make large and small purchases without batting an eye. Spending money on things you won't even remember buying a few days, weeks, or months later is sure to empty your wallet. When you lose your job or your retirement funds, experience a market crash, and lose half of their value, you'll be left wondering where all your hard-earned money went because of this pointless, careless spending. Your future self will thank you for exercising caution before making a large purchase or carefully contemplating if you want to indulge. Additionally, by avoiding purchases you'll regret soon after buying them, you get more enjoyment from every dollar spent. It may seem like the end of the world as you know it when the stock market crashes or there's a recession. Will the situation ever return to normal? It's important to remember that according to Acorns, the typical downturn lasts approximately a year and a half and happens every 4 years. Roughly every 3.5 years, an average bear market lasts 9 to 10 months and occurs when stock prices decline by at least 20%, with the typical stock market decline at these times being around 35%. In other words, you can anticipate a stock market decline of an average 35% every 3.5 years. But don't worry, it usually bounces back in less than a year. When your investments lose a significant portion of their value, especially as you get older and restoring those money gets complicated, it's always unsettling. Your money is almost dissipating into thin air there, but these occurrences become far more bearable when you consider the history and know what to anticipate. We advise you to prepare your portfolio for such events and avoid anything you wouldn't want to possess when setbacks occur, keeping in mind that markets are not always good. Don't ever borrow more money than you feel comfortable having and keep your leverage at a safe level. When the economy has been strong for a while, buying stocks on margin seemed like a good idea. But what happens if things start to go wrong? Would you think that was a smart move, or are you just using too much debt? How about your home equity line, which allow you to borrow against a significant portion of your property's value? You have little to no equity after all. You can easily afford the payments, but what if your income drops? The benefit of borrowing money is possible, but you must be careful not to over-leverage. You may avoid this by taking into account each market cycle. Chances of making money increase with a lousy market or economy. Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful, as Warren Buffett says. When assets again regain their all-time highs, investors are in an excellent position to purchase them at a discount, frequently reap spectacular rewards. Like market timing, buying the dip adheres to the basic invested tenet of buying low and selling high. While it might be pretty challenging to time the market ideally, a straightforward method is to purchase equities while experiencing a significant price decrease to hang on to them for a long time. You should only do this if you have enough money to risk by investing. A recession, however, can present a chance for people with extra wealth to invest. Particularly for younger people who have little to no prior memory of them, it's tremendously easy to forget precisely how things appeared during previous recessions. Those difficult times are a distant memory when the economy is booming and seems unstoppable. You'll be far better able to handle an interruption in your income if you keep in mind these situations and are always prepared for them. A significant decline in the value of your portfolio, and possibly even the chance to profit from extraordinary market value. Contrast this to someone unprepared, expecting only an excellent economy with steady returns on their investments, and might lose their home and experience severe problems with their family, among many other negative consequences. And that ends our video for today. If you think this helped, please like, share, and subscribe to see more helpful videos like this one. We'll be seeing you in our next upcoming videos, but it's goodbye for now.